are inviting to join in, whether at the village level, whether local authorities, NGOs, volunteers, civil society, and of course all machinery of government as well. The entire nation will have to go through this painful learning process together, and we recognize that its success will very much depend on the degree of participation which we are encouraging from all sides. But in any case, when I look around the country today, whether on the streets or even in Parliament, where of course a censure debate against the government will take place on Monday and Tuesday, I still see so many potential partners who are ready to embrace a common future for the country. So no matter what their political views may be, I'm still confident that the vast majority of our people are peaceful and moderate, and they were stunned and dismayed by the recent violence. We recognize the grievances of our rural poor. They are legitimate grievances, and they need a stronger and an independent voice. And this is clearly the most important mission of this government, which is to resolve the fundamental problems of social justice in a systematic way with participation by all sectors of society. And the 5-point reconciliation plan that I propose would be the basis of this exercise. Finally, I wish to emphasize that the Royal Thai government has always attached utmost importance to the safety and well-being of foreign nationals and members of the diplomatic corps in Thailand. We will continue to do our utmost to provide security and stand ready to extend any necessary assistance which may be needed. And I invite and urge you again to take part in this process of rebuilding confidence in Thailand and in bringing back the strength of this country, one that you know very well has great potential and opportunity. Our people, kind and compassionate and full of namjai, remain your true friends, as you are ours. With your support, I believe that your valuable contributions will help us achieve the common objectives of peace and prosperity. That is what I would like to say at first, and my ministers and I will be happy to hear your views and will answer any questions that you may have. Thank you once again. Sawasdee krap.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. I would like to take this opportunity to ask our distinguished guests to ask any questions or exchange any ideas that you might have. And I understand that the microphones are...
Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister. Hans Schumacher, the Ambassador of Germany. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for the step you have taken today. This is very much appreciated and very much respected. I do believe that not many of your colleagues within the ASEAN community would have had the courage to face in such an open and transparent manner the international community. Thank you very much. Two questions, one for clarification. You only briefly mentioned the word curfew, and you, I think, said that this would not be extended. Does this mean that curfew and emergency decree for Bangkok and the northern provinces will be lifted with immediate effect? The second question, a very direct one, you referred to your 5-point plan and mentioned the psychological rehabilitation to find out what people do really want. When one goes to the north and the northeastern provinces, many of the farmers there very often mention that they do feel betrayed, that their democratic vote does not count anymore. They just want to have new elections. Is the 5th point of your 5-point plan still valid? Would you consider to call for snap elections at a date before the end of the legislative period? Thank you.
Thank you. Just to clarify the first point, curfew will not be extended. That's nationwide. But the state of emergency that has been declared still stands. So there will still be some limitations according to the orders that have been issued by the CRES. But the curfew is lifted as of tonight. The second point about the elections and about your reflection of what people who have voted for the opposition party may feel. Let me just once again reiterate that after the last elections, we had a hung parliament. And as with any other parliamentary system, a government that is put together by a majority of parliamentarians support. The UK has recently learned about this after not having a coalition government for quite some time. But as far as I know, even in the case of the UK, had the Liberal Democrats decided to join Labour and maybe other small parties to form a government, that would also be seen as a legitimate government. Be that as it may, I'm very well aware of the feelings of supporters of opposition parties, and I would reiterate that I have not ruled out early elections. I have said that if early elections are held and they can contribute to achieving reconciliation, this government would be all for it. But before we move to that, since last year I had stated that I wanted to see a strong economic recovery. I wanted to see all political parties agree on the rules, because it would not help to have fresh elections and then have more disputes about the rules if parties engage in election fraud, get disbanded and so on. And thirdly, that the environment must be right for elections to be held in a peaceful environment. Obviously, when I proposed November the 14th as a possible date, I was hoping that the protesters would agree. And if they did, and they called off the rallies, I was quite confident that if we all worked together really hard, that date was possible. Clearly, given the way things have turned out over the last couple of weeks, the date of November the 14th would now look very unlikely. But it doesn't mean that I have ruled out the possibility of early elections. If we can sort out all the issues that I've mentioned, I think if we, hopefully with your help, if our economy can pick up, it had a very good recovery going, because the first quarter of this year, it was expanding at 12%, at an annual rate of 12%. But clearly people expect this month and maybe the next couple of months to be especially bad, given the impact of the events. But if that picks up, if things pick up and we can achieve something like 4%, 5% growth this year, I mean, I'm satisfied that we are on strong footing in terms of economic recovery. I will be setting up a panel of academics to look at the constitutional amendments issues and hope to get those resolved in the next few months. And obviously, I'm waiting to see if we can achieve a period of stability where politicians from all parties can